An update on the Nazca mummies and some general speculative thoughts about the mummies. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Okay, Nazca mummy update. Basically news on where the mummies are going to be studied and how the lawsuit is going. So we have Montserrat here, one of the most intriguing specimens with a gold disc in its head. Is that in its, pineal gland, its third eye kind of thing? What's going on with that gold disc? I would love to know. Here is how the lawsuit is going. Jaime Maussan is now suing the government of Peru both for damages and for the right to ship these mummy specimens to university researchers and other scientists in the United States for more thorough, independent, third-party testing. The lawsuit is already in for $300 million. We are going to negotiate with Peru to be allowed to export the samples to be done in America, Maussan says. In an update this Sunday, broadcast to listeners of his program No Humano, Maussan added it will take 8 months for an update in this legal battle, which he emphasized will fund a museum for the mummies and not profiting personally. So really interesting. So meanwhile, there's research being done in Mexico City, also potentially Europe. Looks like it may be getting in on the action, but there is this legal battle to have the specimens, or at least 2 of them, studied in the U.S. Will that happen? I sure hope it does. My wife is a geneticist. She's taking a look at some of the available DNA results, and then she showed it to a friend of hers who's an expert on gene sequencing, and neither of them are impressed by what was shown in those results. Now, there may have been others that they haven't taken a look at yet, but they were saying that it doesn't seem to be following the proper protocols and that you can kind of get any results you want through the protocols it looks like they were using for those tests. So hopefully we can get some really top flight labs, ideally in the US or Europe, to examine the specimens, or at least their DNA, and get us some really valuable, top of the line DNA results so that we can understand these amazing specimens a little bit more. But what are these specimens? What are these guys? They've got 3 fingers. They've got scaly skin. Some of them are laying eggs. Some of them are giving live births. Some of them may have been self-reproducing. They're different sizes. The locals are saying they might still be around. There are beings coming and going from caves in the mountains, and they may be a worldwide presence. The being in Siberia it looks very close to the Nazca mummies. And there's the little guys, the tiny little guys, just a few inches tall, like the Atacama being, and also Alashinka in Russia, and various others. There was one I just reported on the other day, found in a Mexican cave. These tiny little guys. They're found worldwide. The one in Mexico was from a cave. Are some of these others from subterranean dwellings? That's what I wanted to talk about today, because there is this persistent idea of beings coming from underground. I think this is super intriguing and potentially very important. This is a paper or an article from howsandwhys.com talking about Shirley Wright, Dr. Shirley Wright, who was Dr. Albert Einstein's assistant. She was a PhD in her own right, and she supposedly communicated with one of the beings, the aliens, that was a survivor of the Roswell crash. Very interesting. Dr. Shirley Wright, a former colleague of Albert Einstein, stated that she interviewed aliens found at the Roswell crash site in 1947. She noted that aliens are actually just humans, but in advanced form. She claimed to have been present when the U.S. government interviewed an alien survivor from the Roswell crash. According to Dr. Wright, the alien said that not all of them live above the ground, and that many reside underground on our planet. And it goes on, do these beings live underground? We've got, some evidence that the aliens are telling people that they live underground. Of course, it also says it's a future human. I guess it's a time-traveling underground dwelling being if we can rely on its information. And I've shown before evidences of aliens seemingly lying to people and giving false information. So I don't necessarily take anything the beings say, at face value. But it is telling people that they live underground. Could that part of it be real? People are seeing these beings coming and going from caves, or at least some beings coming and going from caves. We've got, the Kandahar giant that was coming from a cave. Do the giants also live underground? If there is a current population of giants, they're not walking around the earth where we can see them. But according to the Kandahar giant story, there is a living population of giants somewhere. I don't think that was the last one. So yeah, they must be underground, right? Or else they've got spaceships or something. So there's this persistent idea and the phenomenon that these beings are coming from underground cities or dwellings, and that they are still around, and that maybe they have been here for a long time. There are certainly humans that lived underground for a long time. They had large complexes underground. Did they have any interaction with the beings? Probably not, but just throwing that out there. But yeah, could there be alien underground cities? Could a lot of these UFOs that we're seeing be coming from underground? We see UFOs coming and going from the water all the time, from oceans and lakes. Could they be coming from below more than they're coming from above? Or maybe 50-50. What do you guys think? But there might also be something else going on here, and I wanted to explore that just a little bit, because all these legends and rumors about beings coming from underground or above, either way, they're both coming from somewhere unseen. It's the unseen realm that these beings are coming from. Is it a literal unseen realm? Another planet, underground, higher dimension? Or is it something else? Because it's always just around the corner. It's here but not here at the same time. Is that somehow the phenomenon giving us some clue as to the existence of the phenomenon itself? That it's always here, it's present, but we just can't quite see it? Because that's kind of the idea of these underground dwellings, right? Are they literally here? If you drill down deep enough, can you strike an alien city? Or does it exist some other way? In some sort of imaginary or consciousness way. Or maybe they exist at some sort of different vibratory frequency. If you drill down, you won't actually see them because they are existing in a different vibratory state. But there are real flesh and blood beings, and there might very well be living examples of them still alive on this earth or under this earth right now. So maybe there are literal cities or dwellings of non-humans under the earth. It certainly seems to be the case, judging by the examples in the recent past of beings that seem to be coming from underground. So part of my mind wonders if the phenomenon could be mimicking a real thing. Maybe there are beings living underground, like the Nazca beings, but the phenomenon reads our minds or reads the situation, and it manifests things built out of that. Some sort of imaginary reality based on something real. We've seen UFOs that will mimic planes and things like that. There's definitely a mimicry element sometimes to the phenomenon. And for sure, the phenomenon doesn't always present itself the way it really is. It gives us some sort of representational reality, something that we can latch onto and understand, when in reality, it might be something really different. But maybe there really are fantastic alien cities, or at least non-human cities, right below our feet. It's all so tantalizing and so frustrating. I mean, if they're there, why don't we go down to them, right? Why don't we just hop in a cave or get a shovel and just dig our way down there? We could be partying in an alien bar in no time, guys. So are they real? Are there real literal alien cities below our feet? Or are they something fabricated based on something a little bit more mundane, but still pretty fantastic. Real beings like the Nazca beings that do dwell underground, and that there are stories built around that sort of presence. And the phenomenon takes that and runs with it, because that's what the phenomenon does. Sometimes, seemingly, maybe. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the like button, the subscribe button, all that kind of good stuff. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug, a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member, because channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.